At some point, I was talking about how weird and confusing we are. And the thing is that I don't think we always were that weird and confusing. I think we are that confusing right now because throughout history, we made life more and more complex. But the thing is that this complexity of life can be seen, for example, in politics. Politics as this imagined, this created tool that we developed to organize ourselves, because throughout history we got together, and as we got together, we put ourselves in these larger groups of people that afterwards we called cities, civilizations, empire, empires, and all that. But the thing is that politics would be this way of organizing ourselves. On its roots, for example, in Western culture and in Greek philosophy, we see that politics would be this group of very special people that would be chosen by the majority of the population to decide for everyone what would be better to do in order to keep going, keep evolving, keep having better lives. But nowadays we are struggling because, for example, we see this. We are very, we are stuck in capitalism. This system that is like a vampire sucking on our lives. But the thing is that I'm not saying that we have to get along all the time. In my case, for example, I do not get along with everybody, even my family. But the thing is that politics should be separated from that, because as we call ourselves as rational beings and capable of credible things regarding intelligence, politics could be applied in a very more reasonable way, in the way that it was supposed to happen. But nowadays we are dealing with this interest and that interest. It's not about the population anymore. It's about small interests, small desires of peoples, of small groups, this oligarchy and all that. Because we have this notion of power that is widespread in politics, and politics would be this way for people to reach such power. But the thing is that politics, after all that, becomes another great illusion. It could be an instrument to free ourselves, but it became another illusion that is keep trapping us in these cycles of destruction, of inequality and all that. It's interesting to think about that because nowadays we are so divided in society because of ideologies, because of beliefs. It's strange to see everything crumbling and fading. Like the relations, societies is getting destroyed by itself. Nobody can agree with anybody anymore. It's so weird. It's so weird to live in such a state, and we are the manifestations of such states as well. We can't deny that, and it's strange because we claim to be so smart and so intelligent, and nowadays we are acting like monkeys in the jungle. Just now, I heard an interesting fact that for the first time in scientific history, a large group of apes in Africa got divided. They stood together for some time, for some years, and then suddenly they divided themselves into groups. They began to kill each other. Interesting that it happened in groups of chimpanzees. There are species of apes that are very close to us genetically, and it's very interesting because we are behaving like those animals. We keep dividing ourselves, we keep killing each other because of petty things, because of small things. This material attachments such as power and money and influence and all that. We see these sociopaths running nations and all that shit. Yeah, it's really strange. It's weird and confusing because we see that the way to solve everything is just there, out, just in that corner. But at the same time, it's so far away. There is this abyss between us and an evolved society. Of course, Buddha said that samsara can't be changed, can't be changed, and we can't change this reality. Actually, we can't actually change it. But it's strange to see everything happening and see how weird and wrong it all is, according to our very own patterns of understanding. But the thing, I'm just making this video to point out this situation. Everybody should remember and see that we created a system that no longer can help us. Not because of the system itself, but because of ourselves. We got in such a state of confusion that we can no longer exist together, and that is very troubling. But in some way or another, we are all together, we are all living in this, and we should look at reality with just a more empathetic sight, a more loving sight, to look at reality through the lens of love, of peace. Maybe, and then maybe we could do something about this reality, this dystopic reality we live in. Because we are all together, there's no escape, there's no separateness. Everything is Mandala.